The advantages of being a nice person and coming from a good place far outweighs and has benefits and opportunities beyond a person's imagination and comprehension. I should know. I have lived on both sides of the fence. Once upon a time, I was an angry, resentful, scared, self-centered, untrustworthy thief, drug addict, manipulator, control freak, narcissist. Throw them all in the mix. I was that. And I lived according to those attitudes and behaviours that I developed to survive. Unconsciously, I didn't know how to get out of that. I didn't have a clue how to move out of that. I didn't even see a lot of that stuff because I, like most of us, are a product of our environment and how we get brought up. But there does come a time when we can start having a good look at ourselves in our lives and have the courage to admit how we are operating. And more importantly, the impact that we're putting onto other human beings. And as a result of that, affecting us also. Being not a nice person has negative impacts on many aspects of a life. People don't trust you. People find it hard to get close to you because of that trust. People pick up how skeptical they feel in your presence. You're not fooling anybody when you're saying one thing to a person and doing the other. You're not fooling anyone when you look somebody in the eye and tell them a lie. You're not fooling anybody when you're coming from a place of wanting to get something out of somebody and take advantage of somebody. You don't fool anyone. It always comes back to that kind of person, because when you come from a bad place, bad things always happen to you. And when bad things happen, usually it makes you more mean. It makes you more not nice, because you want to get back at people more. And there's all different names. People call it narcissism these days, but there's more to it than narcissism, let me assure you. There's a lot of stuff that goes beyond a narcissistic behaviour. I met many people in jail who went beyond that, and people that use drugs. But also I met, okay people in jail. Not everybody in jail is, all bad in themselves. Not everybody that uses drugs is like the way I'm saying it. But I can only talk for me, and I wasn't a nice person. And it was only in 1989 when I ended up in a rehabilitation centre on the outskirts of Brisbane that I was confronted in this community on the way I was behaving and conducting myself within this community. And I hated what I heard because it was the truth. I was intimidating, I was threatening, I was a liar, I was angry, frustrated all the time, trying to get people back for what they were doing, being very manipulative to other people, unloving, uncaring, self-centered. I was a very sick individual emotionally, that's how I put it. Until I seen this destruction and where a lot of my unhappiness come from because I couldn't connect with other people because of this. You know, taking drugs, thieving, like, people didn't trust that. People didn't like that good, you know, decent people. And when I seen it, I started acting loving towards people. I would do things for people unselfishly, regardless of how I felt. I would give people things, like gifts, presents. I would help people. I would extend myself. I would tell people when I was lying. I would open up to people when I had bad motives. I would express my true self to human beings instead of acting in a way where I was impacting them from my own selfish ways. And when I started opening up to people and got honest with other people about who I really was and shared my evilness, which it's one description of it, and expose it in honest communication to others and helping other people and being there for other people and being truthful to other people, people started coming to me. I started feeling happier. I started connecting with other people. I started finding a place in the world where I belonged, instead of loneliness, which led to drugs and other forms of behaviour that I used to isolate myself in because of how disconnected I was to other people because of who I was when I wasn't a nice person. So when I started being truthful and honest and open up, and because I become truthful and genuine, people started trusting me. They didn't feel threatened by me, and it changed my whole life. And I used that to make new friendships. I used that to be successful, because you need other people around you to be successful in life. It's very hard to do things by yourself. I used it in meeting new people. I liked helping people, and my whole life transformed from that other person who wasn't a nice person because where I was coming from, to a more loving and caring person. So it works. And I'll guarantee you, if you're not connecting with people, you have a look at yourself, and you have a good look at yourself, because I'll guarantee you there's things within yourself that you're doing that doesn't allow you to connect with people. And it's in your niceness. It's in what we have to do in our true motives. It's how we're acting. It's what we're doing to other people. It's how we're behaving. You change that stuff within you, and you watch what happens in your relationships. Relationships start to develop because the part you play in those relationships is the good stuff, is true, is honest, is real. It works. I know it works. And if you want to get out of being not very nice and selfish, help people. Do things for people. Change your motives towards other people. Care for other people. Think of others. And your whole life will transform. And change yourself. And change your motives. And your life becomes a lot better. You take care now, and you have that power to do that. And it's worth it. It's so worth it. It's the best thing you can ever do. If that's what you want to do in your life. You take care now, there's massive benefits in it. Look after yourself.